This week, Artax and me were setting out aboard my Caterpillar when Nitz, Sony and Stick offered us a place responding to combat beacons around Crusader. I personally have been wanting to hit beacons and then salvage the ships afterwards for a while. We've just never had the opportunity with all of the problems that 318 has brought. So the offer was welcome and we agreed to tag along. The obvious choice would be salvaging an Idris, and just maybe we'd get that opportunity today. Aboard the Caterpillar I'd be piloting, with Artax on the front guns. With the 2 wipes coming up, we know that we won't keep anything from this expedition, but getting in some combat time in the Caterpillar seems like a good idea. Our first stop would be linking up with the party at Port Olisar. Yes, this is a lot of markers, holy sh**. And Nitz would immediately begin searching for beacons.
Alright, I found a moderate surface beacon.
Okay, cool. New Crusader or...
Oh, here's a high risk for 240k. Let's take that one.
Oh yeah, let's see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get
God, somebody came. My ship's completely offline. Can you cover me while I fix it?
If I see a critical, I'm gonna cancel when we're on.
Sure.
Take it.
Waiting for the targets to actually show up as red.
right over here.
Yeah. Right now we're on a Connie. It's gone. The first target had been taken out, but there were plenty more hostile ships at this location. What's next on the plate?
Out of here.
Being engaged by something. We'd be going in after a hammerhead.
2 hammerheads.
Top o'clock.
I have no eyes on it.
Hold C on your turret.
Facing the wrong direction.
But we very quickly lose our front shields to the onslaught of laser fire. Front shield is melting. We have to turn this a little bit. Powered shields. After recharging, we'd work our way back in. But we had to be conscious of the second hammerhead also out to engage us. It's the second one. Oof, some glue. Unfortunately, the explosion was the ship we were sent to protect, and so we'd be moving on to another beacon, but this time it was a critical threat beacon, complete with enemy Idris. Cuts back, 12 o'clock, 6 times.
Yeah, that was one of our ships.
Not jumping around anymore. There were again 2 hammerheads for us to eliminate. We get an early advantage though, as the enemy hammerheads collided with each other, putting both of them into aggressive spins.
What the heck? Oh, that's a flat spin.
Whoa, that is spinning. Good one's spinning as well.
So are you in the front?
Yes.
Sorry, Artax. Went a little bit faster. Although we should probably join them on that one. We prioritised the hammerhead already being engaged to help eliminate it faster. Desync was presenting some risks on this server. I want to get as close so we don't have to rely on the pip as much. But not so close that it teleports into us.
That's the dangerous game you play.
Go charge weapons. And I'd have some problems with my onboard cannons as well. The recharge rate had dropped extremely low.
Cycle powered weapons.
That's what I've been doing. On weapons, it's just coming up very slowly.
It's server performance.
We fought onwards and our shields were still taking a hell of a beating. Oh, our shields are not looking too good. Okay, I want to pull us back a little. Oh, good. We're taking fire from another hammerhead. We need to pull back though because of our shields. While recharging, I tried to keep our attacks close enough to keep firing, and after a short time we close range again to finish the remaining hammerhead. Now we move on to the Idris, and for a large cumbersome ship like the Caterpillar, the railgun is a real and credible threat. I hope that wasn't part of Explosive actually.
Ouch. Yeah, something bad just happened.
But we are taking some shield hits.
There's a red Vanguard Warden here.
Okay, this is the angle we want to be at. I have to position so that the turret fire actually hits the rear, yeah. Because the auto aim, otherwise we'll make it aim for the centre of the ship. We have to pull back a lot of our shields. 3 of our shield faces are down. Still taking hits. Now you should be able to get the shots through the shield. The rear shield of the Idris was down, so I just needed to follow its aft, giving our tanks the window to hit the hull. Oh, look at that! Yeah, we're seeing some of the damage now. But our own shields needed regular recharging as well. Let me charge back up again. That's good. And being in front of an Idris and its railgun is a very bad idea. Ooh, we're head on here. Don't want to be there. Looks like it is charging the railgun as well. We're out of the way now, but still.
He's after something.
I'm going to pull back though because I'm worried it's going to like desync backwards into us. Oh my god, okay, we need to move. I swear to god the strength line of the railgun shot. Attacks, we're going back in. It looks like we are front shield only at the moment there. The Idris had been eliminated, and in its place now stood wreckage of enormous proportions. In our experience of salvaging with a group so far, the Reclaimer is more convenient and effective, but a swarm of vultures is just more fun. Our friends were eager to go collect the vultures, while I kept the marker active for the wreck. But this wreck is also something I wanted to go take a look at up close. There were continuous small explosions from the hull and a scattering of bodies. But what really stood out was the size. Just how much material does a ship like this contain? Our salvage ships were arriving, and Stick had alerted us to some locations on the Idris hull that were particularly rich with material, and we'd begin there.
Those ones are guaranteed.
Trying to figure out which side of the ship is what right now. It's like a little divot.
The Caterpillar lights are doing all the work.
I know.
Just roll it a little bit.
Maybe this thing with like,
Oh, wow.
That might be the craziest sight that I've ever seen while doing salvage.
Are you able to see the bay, Katie? Or?
Yeah, I got it. I'd positioned at a point where moving cargo would be manageable, and our vultures got to work.
Sorry, I didn't see that vulture coming in below me. There's 3 of them now.
Sony and me would be moving between vultures, clearing the filler stations. Your filler station is clear. Frame rates were not great for a lot of this, I guess owing to the active explosions and the size of the ship, but extraction was very fast on this hull.
Immediately filled one SU.
Whoa.
I think we're in the right spot. I mean, you have to look and see, make sure we're...
Yeah, I was looking at where you're...
It's a spark piece.
Rather than filling up each of the vultures, Sony and I would just find moments between clearing the filler stations to send them quickly back over to the Caterpillar.
That's true.
Nits, I'm gonna clear your machine.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Artifact's got a box.
It's like you're checking your chickens for eggs.
Right. Boxes were being created extremely quickly, and we hadn't even put a dent in the Idris hull yet. We were experiencing problems too. Frame rates were tanking. It was clear that the server did not like this.
The server is struggling with us doing this.
We live in hope that the 3.18.1 patch will at least perform better when it is released to live soon.
There's a lot smoother than this.
Checking now.
Katie and I had that.
Between the explosions and the salvaging, there was a cacophony of activity around the wreck, and as we threw boxes back at the Caterpillar, sooner or later somebody had to go begin tidying them up. On this attempt, I'd be called back too soon.
I'm ejecting again.
I'm going to now attacks. The Idris hull really does seem to extract much faster. Sony and I were very busy keeping up. I'd again head back to do some cleanup. We needed the near side of the base cleared at the very least. But then a moment of potential danger.
I have missiles incoming.
Whoa, what? Whoa. Oh. Come on the ladder, on the ladder, on the ladder.
It's AI.
Yeah, it's an Aurora.
Bro. The ship was just an NPC Aurora, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I'm ejecting. Should be ejecting in just a second here.
This session certainly felt the most industrial feeling I'd ever experienced salvaging. There was just a lot of noise all of the time, and our setup here needed a lot of legwork to keep things flowing. Not really efficient, but it was a lot of fun.
You're thirsty.
Artax would reposition again to make moving the cargo easier. That's better, yeah, wow. That's much better.
Better?
Yeah, way better.
So if at any point you want to go to the position, you know, re-angle the show.
It's not too bad.
Artax, I'm gonna jump over there a minute and just start putting some of these on the grid.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Hey, are you having a problem where like the tractor beam is letting go of the box right now?
Yeah. There's a box that's kind of spinning away as well. I'm just gonna try and grab that. Tons of empty space still, tons. Stacking the boxes on the opposite side of the Caterpillar would free up the near side doors for throwing the boxes in, but server performance was getting worse. We'd only been salvaging for about 20 minutes at this point, and already warning signs were appearing.
Yeah, the server's definitely struggling. My mining heads took a second to start up.
Boxes were not the only thing that needed a little coordinating.
Another one coming out.
Artax, your position right now is great, but you are so close to the Caterpillar there.
Perilously close.
Is that better? I move forward.
That's great, yeah. I can move the Caterpillar actually. I think Salvaging Idris has the economic potential to support much larger salvaging teams. In our setup with 3 vultures here, another cargo handler, and maybe even someone managing the Caterpillar grids exclusively would be a big benefit. And unlike many other salvage situations, the material we were collecting here could certainly pay for it. Again, I want to reiterate, this was at about 30 minutes of actual salvage time.
There's some juicy stuff lower down we haven't gotten to yet.
Start moving the boxes to the other side of the base so that the front end is clear again.
Full now.
All of the cargo management time gave an opportunity to reflect on this Vulture's warm setup. Again, I have preferred running this kind of thing over crewing a reclaimer to date. I know this is a lot of work, like us running around doing other, like the, you know, but this feels...
It's fun work.
Yes, right? But while moving between compartments, I noticed doors were no longer opening, and immediately alarm bells began to ring.
I wonder if it'll be able to jump down or something a little bit more involved like this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Are we thinking?
Yes, we are.
The server had crashed. We had a lot of cargo on board at this point, so we were very hopeful that crash protection might save the ship and our cargo. Crash protection has been super unreliable in 318 now, and with the wipes coming, the loss wouldn't really mean anything in practical terms, but we figured it would be nice to see how much we had and what it was worth. The 30k occurred after 36 minutes of salvage. I wonder if the Caterpillar would be back at my home location, but I'm not holding out hope. We were in luck. The Caterpillar was showing us stored back at Orison, and so a flight to the city in the clouds was next.
Get that scrap from. Yeah, I've got questions.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, we've got cargo. Cargo is here.
Nice.
We want to attempt to sell it here?
We may as well try and sell it here first, right? A lot of it might show up as stolen, but it's worth a try.
Oh, that's
close
true,
to
because
that.
it came from 3 different ships. Or 4? 3? 4?
With the cargo confirmed is still aboard, we set out to sell. We could have made an attempt at Orison here, but a lot of the cargo is probably considered stolen, and we were hoping to run into some resistance. Does anyone want to chuck these on the grid while I go up there to do it, to get some repairs done? It'll take about 30 seconds-ish before you can actually fire it. I'm jumping to Daymar now. We definitely didn't encounter any pirates at Brios. All we got was a terrible frame rate and a terminal that was non-functional. Frame rate has gone to
Same. What is going on?
Does feel like this is not going to work. The news of the wipes has certainly reduced the motivation in a lot of players, so it was a long shot that we would actually encounter anyone. But we pushed onward, this time to reclamation and disposal on Hurston.
Yeah, party markers are missing. We might have to redo the party.
Maybe.
Interesting rules. I can't believe.
That is how you land a caterpillar. Here we learned that we'd recovered 78 boxes in total. That is not bad for just over half an hour, and the value was around 500,000 credits when adjusted for stolen cargo. It is a shame that the 30k cut us short, as I really believe a caterpillar could be filled completely and in a reasonable time by salvaging an Idris with the team. We'll definitely revisit this once the wipes have passed and normal play can resume. It's going to be a little quiet, I feel, in Star Citizen over the course of the 3.18.1 patch. With a wipe preceding and following it, many players will not see a reason to resume until the wipes have passed. We've had a project in mind though for some time that may tide things over during this limbo patch, and if I can get the team together for it, we'll deliver more news on that expedition shortly. As always, I want to thank all of you at home for watching and all of our amazing patrons who you can see on screen right now. Without these very generous people, none of the videos here on the channel would be possible, and I am very grateful to all of you for the help. And in this video, I would especially like to thank Tony098, Squished, Cornpone, Space Drake, and Brandon Kaminsky, who all recently became supporters of the channel over on Patreon. Thank you all for your very generous support. It's patrons like you that make all of this possible and keep this channel going. Thank you. We'll be back with more from Star Citizen very soon.